Yeah. Hey, Congressman, welcome to the show. So I'm curious to get your take on Tulsi Gabbard specifically. Providing she gets confirmed, it seems very likely, obviously now. What message do you think that sends to these entrenched bureaucrats and the business as usual crowd?
Well, I do think she's going to make. I think they're all going to make it. I think that's a good thing for liberty for the American people. Tulsi is with us who think there should be a warrant requirement before the government can search this giant database of information on Americans. And so I love her position on FISA. It's something we've been pushing hard to get accomplished, this warrant requirement before the government can search that information. So that was my main reason for having her. We had her as a witness, by the way, 2 years ago when she was still a Democrat. And it was interesting in that hearing, the Democrats went after her because of their whole censorship operation. She is for the Fourth Amendment rights, First Amendment rights. That's why I think it's so important that she gets confirmed, and it looks like that's going to happen. That's a good thing for the country.
Congressman, we've heard the statistics. When the Department of Ed was created under FDR, America's children had the best education in the world before that. Since the creation of the DOE, despite billions of dollars Americans have been forced to pay into that bureaucracy, American ed has plummeted to among the lowest in the world. How do you explain that? And do you believe that Congress will give full approval to drain the swamp of the DOE?
Well, I hope so. President Trump said that yesterday. I think Secretary McMahon, who he's nominated to be the head of the Department of Education, said he wants her to work herself out of a job. So I think that's great. we all know it's better when education is better when it's run at the state and local level. I mean, at least at the local level, the teacher knows the student's name in the classroom. Some bureaucrat in D.C. working remote, all they're doing is creating more hassle, more work, more things for the teacher, which probably takes time away from the teacher interacting with the student and helping that student learn. So, it's I think, way past due to scale back the Department of Education here in D.C., and if we can get rid of it, God bless them. We've been for that for a long time. So I think that's the right attitude. I think all these people that President Trump has nominated who are now getting confirmed, they represent the attitude that the American people voted for on November 5th. They want folks running these agencies who actually serve we the people, serve the taxpayers, not having these agencies being weaponized and turned on the taxpayers and on the American people like they were under the Biden administration, particularly the Department of Justice. So that's the attitude that the people voted for. That's exactly the kind of individuals President Trump is nominating, and it looks so far like the Senate is going to confirm those people, which is a good thing.
Yeah, such a great point. It's like cut the spending, cut the crap. That should be the new slogan. I've decided.
Yeah.
Hey, let's talk a little bit about the legacy of Joe Biden. He won't see this segment because it's not between 10 and 4. But I want to show you some of this. Biden pardoned 5 members, as we know, of his family, also Hunter. All of this in the final moments of his presidency. And by the way, he also gave pardons and commutations to, I think, a record 2,500 people. And then you've got headlines like this from the Wall Street Journal, which says even Biden's DOJ was angry over the former president's pardons for his family members and others. And one last portion of this, there's the January 6th House Committee and Liz Cheney. So what about the House Judiciary Committee here? Are they going to look at this, go after the J6 committee? I mean, how does that transpire in this Congress? And also about the people Biden pardoned and...
Let me do the first question first. Joe Biden on the pardons, he not only pardoned his family and did things he told us he wasn't going to do, he commuted the sentences for some really, really bad guys. People who've been involved in killing kids and a mother and a child. People killed FBI agents. He commuted their sentences. So he did some really bad things. I think that's where the Department of Justice, even the Garland Biden Department of Justice, people were pushing back saying, you're commuting a sentence for this terrible guy, this individual. So there's that. And then there's, the fact that he pardoned his family, which I always thought he was going to pardon his brother. I thought he was going to pardon Hunter and pardon his brother. I didn't realize he was going to pardon his sister-in-law and daughter and all the other people in his family he did. Because particularly he told us he wasn't going to do that. Regarding January 6th, the one thing I really want to get an answer to is there were 26 confidential human sources here on January 6, 2021. 17 of those confidential human sources went in restricted area. 4 went in the Capitol. 2 of the 4 who went in the Capitol, the FBI asked them specifically to be here that day. So I want to know all the history of these guys. How long have they worked for the FBI? How much have they been paid? Were they paid that day for information they gave the FBI? How did they go in the Capitol? Were they some of the first people to enter the Capitol? Did they go in through a door? Did they go in through a broken window? They didn't have authorization to go in. They should have been charged with the crime, it seems to me, but none of them were. So I think there are a ton of questions about that in particular, not to mention the idea that we still don't know who planted the pipe bombs. I mean, think about it. The FBI can't tell us who planted the pipe bombs, who leaked the Dobbs opinion, and who put cocaine at the White House. But they had time under Joe Biden to investigate moms and dads going to school board meetings, to write a memo saying if you're a pro-life Catholic, you're an extremist. Yeah. So those are the kind of things we need answers to, and that's what we're going to work on.
Congressman, our chat is alive this morning with the price of eggs being so high. In fact, Waffle House, I guess, has put a surcharge on their eggs. They're going to charge like 50 cents or $1 per egg now just to try to keep up with the prices. Is there any answer for this? Real quickly, we're almost out of time.
Well, part of, I think, what's driving up the price of eggs is this bird flu issue. I actually talked to some of the people in the agriculture industry in our state. This bird flu is they're having to destroy some of the birds, and it's just driving up the cost because you got fewer eggs being produced. So I think that's part of it, and of course some of the costs on energy and everything else that are a legacy from the Biden administration. Things that I think we're going to get fixed with President Trump.
Awesome, Congressman Jim Jordan. Always great to hear from you. Thanks so much for what you do every day for America.
You bet. Thank you guys. Take care.